IF Professional starting down south, and yeah, pretty standard lineup of 5 heavy tanks, 3 MX-50s, 1 Chinese 110, and a KV-5.
Yep, and the opponent's 4S team going with 4 heavy tanks, 1 AMX-13, 2 T1 or 2 T1s, yes, and 2 IS-3s.
Alex Jablai deciding to switch back to his usual MX-13 Tier 8 lights, so that's going to give them a little extra mobility, but really, it's going to depend on what they do. It looks like they're going for a railroad approach.
Yep, and actually the IF team going for a more spread out approach. So actually, I feel like the IF team is going to go more for a defensive setup, whereas possibly the 4S team could go for a push.
Well, I mean, exactly. If I were IF, I would do the same thing too. I mean, so far they have been defensive on ends.
Yeah,
on
they definitely have been the more defensive team.
They basically, they're just like doing not even a spectacular job, but just a good job of like hoarding their ground until there's an opening.
Counter-attacking.
Well, sort of. Like they see one lone tank, they're going to take him out. They're not going to commit to either west or east, or they're not going to commit to full push. So they're still like within range of their own defensive like starting point pretty much, so they can like easily defend their base if need be. So right now, a very classic sort of spread out. They got 2 heavy tanks to the east of southeast of the park in the middle. They got 1 heavy tank to the west, 1 heavy tank like down that railroad, and their 2 scouts not even moving out at this point. They're just like sort of sitting there.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they can afford to do that too. I mean, like, why not?
Yep. I mean, they are in the lead. They are 2 sets up on the 4S team. So if 4S loses this next set, they will be out of this tournament.
And now 4S with a full commitment to the Western Railroad.
Yeah, they haven't pushed out just yet. I feel, actually that 1 scout in the middle of the field right now.
Yeah, Alex Jablai, who's the lone guy on the hill. Actually, on the hilltop.
And actually, Alex Jablai on the hill,
on the hilltop, so he actually got a sneak shot, as a matter of fact, taking some damage.
I think it's Times New Roman, I believe.
Yeah, Times New Roman, who was dealt a wee bit of punishment by Alex Jablai up that hill. Like, you know, it's a great sniping position, but
I think they should have sent up their or they should send up their AMX-50, because the AMX-50 is great.
Yeah, but then again, if it's an AMX-50 and you're spotted, then you know, you're gonna have somebody coming up to take you out.
But the thing is, then you have Alex Jablai there with the AMX-13.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But then again, they can't really afford to spread out their forces too thin, because they're 1 heavy tank down. Compared to their opponents, so basically, no, I think sending Alex Jablai up there is just the safest choice, pretty much, because he can get a few sneak shots here and there. It's not going to do much damage, but it's just going to aggravate your opponent. And then if he comes up the hill, then you know, he's got enough speed and mobility to get out.
And actually, IF spotting one of the 4S tanks.
Yeah, well, exactly. So IF now sending some tanks up the hill, because like, okay, you know, stop shooting at us. This is kind of aggravating, but you know, Alex Jablai will definitely have more than enough time to just either back down or just sort of like, come back to his starting position. So no harm done there.
Yep, and this T1 now on the 4S team, kind of sneaking around.
And look at that, like, speaking of
and actually Alex
Jablai, like, he got plenty of punishment.
Speeding away, but that
but he
shot
got taken out. Like, see, that's
taken.
really poor play, though. I don't understand why he's trying to go down that way. Basically, he should have backed up. As soon as he spotted those 2 heavy tanks coming up, he should have like come back to his starting position. I mean, he's got the extra speed. Why didn't he get out of there? Pretty much. Like,
I think he might have spotted him too late, though.
Possibly, maybe he was just like fooling around a little too much.
And actually, 4S pushing now down this western side. So, Times New Roman getting taken down quite low. He might survive this. He has some teammates coming now up to back him up. Actually, 4S pushing quite heavily now on that western side. 2 tanks up on the 2nd and 3rd row.
Yeah, indeed. And Student Kaya is now going to be dust pretty much.
Yep.
Unless a miracle happens, he's probably going to be taken down on this one. He goes down. The response is swift to come now. Actually, another tank going down. Times New Roman is taken down as well, so an extra KV-5 now down.
Yeah, so 2 tanks now getting taken down on the IF team. Actually,
a brilliant response. Like, yeah, indeed.
Yeah, so actually 2 tanks apiece now getting taken down on each team.
Yeah, but the 4S team is taking quite a lot of punishment. Like, they got the initial 2 heavy tanks, but they exchanged that for a lot of hit points.
Yeah.
So now they're 4
they're
4 tier 8 tanks down, so it's pretty much game over.
Yeah, it looks like this KV-5 is probably going to get taken down as well.
Yeah, exactly. The response was swift to come. Like, once again, IF Professional didn't have to do much. They just
they just kind of waited and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
just kind of responded to
Exactly.
whatever
They
the
just,
Forest team was going to
you
do.
know, there was no element of surprise because
Yeah.
they knew exactly where their opponents were coming from. As soon as Alex Jablay was taken out on that hill, any flanking maneuver was out of the question,
Yeah.
pretty much. And now they're just like taking out the 4 remaining tanks one after the other. Once again, that's just well.
Yeah, and this is the last.
I
tier
don't.
8
I don't
tank
even
remaining.
want to call it a brilliant sort of play because they had nothing special to do. They just had to just sit there and, well, basically take the gifts that were so graciously given to them, pretty much. So I'm like
Yeah.
really kind of disappointed by Forest's play right
And
now.
that is the last tank going down on the Forest team.